Hi, I'm Richard Patricio, and 2012 has been one of my weakest years for gaming. Yes, the Wii U looks awesome, and yes, a lot of great games came out, but I spent a considerable amount of time trying to get jobs and raise my grades in school and stuff, but that didn't stop me from enjoying some good games. Sometimes. Something I look forward to in every game is the boss fights. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I start a level or discover a new environment in the game, my mind races with ideas of what the boss will look like. And as you don't know, some bosses are better than others. For this double top 5, I'll use bosses from games I've played, so no Borderlands 2! Also, if I do own the game and haven't gotten to a boss that interests me enough for this list, I'm sorry, I still can't put it on here. Oh, and one more thing. Spoilers.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자.
I really didn't like Tron Legacy. I don't care what anyone says, making your titular character have only one line of dialogue in the entire movie is just stupid. And the boss fight against Tron in Kingdom Hearts 3D, well, let's just say it doesn't do the movie any favors. While fighting Tron, or Rinzler if you prefer, Sora must chase him down in this giant circular arena and attack him. Why this sucks is because it's like a bad dogfighting stage from Star Fox 64. Hit an opponent in your firing range, only for them to fly past you and then Rinzler defeat. Of course, Rinzler is faster, stronger, and more resilient than you, meaning you're at a pretty big disadvantage. And then there's that gravity shifting thing he does that inverts the controls. That's really disorienting. Oh, and when he changes gravity back to normal, he does this insta-kill move that can only be avoided by dodging. I don't know, it might just be me, but the first couple of times, because of the camera angle, I thought it was supposed to do a reality show. All in all, the Riku boss fight isn't that bad. This is the Sora one specifically. Final Fantasy Dimensions is a hell of a good game. I can definitely see why it wasn't a numbered release, but it was well worth my $30. To tell the story leading up to the boss at number 4, yeah, here's the really short version. Some kid/teenager/young adult are living in this peaceful village in a world that's in danger of being taken over by, who else, the Empire. The 4 warriors are sent by their king to investigate a disturbance sensed from, what else, a crystal. At the same time, some slaves of the Empire are sent to take the crystal in exchange for their freedom, but the crystal is destroyed and an earthquake splits the warriors up. Now one party is 2 of the slaves and 2 of the villagers, and same for the other one. Both parties are also in separate worlds. One party is in the world of light and are dubbed the Warriors of Light, and the other is in the world of darkness and are called the Warriors of Darkness. So the Warriors of Darkness seek the help of the Elf King to fight the Empire, and along the way they meet an old, slightly senile and perverted man who has trouble remembering his past and can aim a bow perfectly despite being blind. So after an extremely dull dungeon, the Warriors of Darkness come face to face with the king, his wife, and their son. When the old man gets a migraine, it turns out the old man is the rightful king, and the current king is actually in disguise. He's really Asmodai of the Earth, who's a general or something like that for the Empire. Turns out the old man gave up his sight and memories to the Empire so that they would not attack the people. Then Asmodai swooped in and took control. This miasma overusing bastard proceeds to beat the crap out of the party except the old man, who with his final breath destroyed the spell that was preventing the party from harming Asmodai, and then the party fights Asmodai. What a fucking asshole! And if you lose to this guy, which you will, you have to re-watch the event I just described, starting from the coming face to face with the king part. The fight is also pretty bad. Some villains have signature attacks that hurt you, steal mana, or induce a status effect. This asshole has a signature attack that does all of those to the entire party. I really like the quarter guy. He's hands down my most influential countdown maker. And I also liked his versus rant, even though I disagree with his opinion. Yeah, I found a lot of things wrong with Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure, especially the motion controls. Don't get me wrong, they aren't all bad. In fact, that's actually something pretty strange about the game. The motion controls are sometimes good, but other times they fucking suck. For example, in one stage, you control Fondue and tilt your 3DS to move Fondue's head so that he can eat some flying meat. The controls work very well here, but in another stage, you fight a butler, and this is where things get shitty. Okay, I realize counting the butler as a boss is a bit of a stretch, but it still counts. The problem here is that the motion controls are broken. The controls should be simple, too. Tilt the system different ways to avoid the butler's various attacks and counter automatically punch-out style. But are these controls responsive? No. I often found a delay while I was dodging. Other times it just didn't work. I tried it on multiple systems too to prove it wasn't just my 3DS being weird. Here's where I want to break the sad news to game developers. Motion controls should not be used for anything that requires precision. It's been obvious since the invention of the Power Glove. It's so bad. Trust me, it's really fucking bad. You know, here's another thing. This kid took out Napoleon Bonaparte's entire army in like a minute and a half. So why the fuck does he spend so much time on this old man? New Super Mario Bros. 2 definitely impressed me. I don't think it's up there with the other great games, but it's still pretty good. I mean, I was expecting shit, and I didn't get any. If any of you are wondering where I would have put this game on my top 14 Mario games countdown, well, it would probably be number 12. It's not as big or as revolutionary as the other games, but in a way there's something nice about that. It doesn't try to be that good, and I like that. And with New Super Mario Bros. Wii having the best Bowser battle ever, this one probably has an awesome one too, right? So you kill Bowser the classic way, and he comes back, like in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Except this time he gets giant jumps into the background, and you have to climb his castle using floating platforms that come out of lava, which is flooding said castle. And Bowser breaks all of the platforms in one of 3 columns that the platforms are rising in. And it's so boring! Not only is it long and monotonous, but the pattern in which the platforms from different columns appear is completely random. Meaning, if you need to make a quick jump before Bowser swings at you, you just have to make a leap of faith and hope that the column you jump on has a platform about to rise. And you also have to hope that this platform isn't going to be too fast or too slow. Oh, and did I mention there's lava? Yeah, you mess up once, just fucking once, back to the beginning. That's fucking stupid. Like, imagine if in Contra the enemies just spawned randomly. You'd get sick of it so quickly. Well, they'll probably make the fight with Dry Bowser at the end of Star World way more entertaining. They didn't. They didn't change a thing. They didn't even make it so less platforms would spawn and raise the difficulty or anything. What the fuck, Nintendo? Let's do a quick recap before we get to number 1. Number 5 ruins the movie. Number 4 ruins the world. Number 3 ruins the controls. And number 2 ruins his own castle. And now...
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
You may have noticed that a big factor for what makes a bad boss, in my opinion, is disappointment. And that brings me to Lollipop Chainsaw. Don't get me wrong, this game was great. In fact, I almost never liked 3D beat-em-ups, but this one is awesome. However, that doesn't mean it didn't come with its disappointments of different sizes. New Suda beat-em-up, not as good as No More Heroes. Story is awesome, beat the entire game in one morning. Awesome chainsaw weapons, subpar gun mode. Awesome bosses, the final boss is a fat Elvis. I will say that again. The final boss is a fat Elvis. We went from a punk who shoots his own lyrics to a Viking who plays death metal drums, to a zombified Bootsy Collins, to a rocker who rides a weaponized bike that turns into a mech suit, to a fat fucking Elvis. You know, here's a nice question. How the hell does this guy plan on bringing the apocalypse? He fucking sucks. Okay, so when you start fighting the Killbilly, your sensei calls you and tells you have to defeat the Killbilly. I thought I was going to anyways. So the Killbilly starts chucking cars at you as you try to get closer to him, then he adds zombies, and then you spend another 2 minutes trying to catch up to him. Then you do the same boring thing, except this time he shoots lasers out of his eyes. So then you finally catch up to him, and he grabs you. And despite having you in a position where he could easily kill you, he decides to puke on you. So then he pretty much just stands there whilst you shoot him. So finally some actual hazards come in, but you dispose of them pretty easily. So then, once the Killbilly decides he should kill you, he eats you, which, considering the fact that you have a chainsaw, is probably a great idea. So now you're on the roof of some building while the Killbilly spawns zombies and acts like that shitty boss from Super Meat Boy. Then a helicopter comes and tries to rescue you, which the bastard throws at you, and you shoot it once and it's gone.
This has been another pointless moment.
So now your sensei tells you to go through the thing's mouth and his body. Oh yeah, and he kills your dad. So you go through his body and guess what? It's boring. Then you reach his heart, which has Swan's body attached to it. So you face the decision of either letting the Killbilly kill everyone, or Nick bombing it and, well, killing Nick. And when I say face decision, I obviously mean Juliet faces the decision, and you just sit there wishing this boring-ass boss battle would end. So, why do I hate this boss? Because he fucking sucks. He kills your dad, gives you a boring fight, has less than 1 bajillionth of the other boss's personality, and do you know what the worst part is? The worst part is, it turns out everyone was okay, and it was the best birthday ever. Fuck you. Now I know how the angry video game nerd feels. Who looked at these bosses and was like, oh yeah, the gamers are gonna love this. And you know what else? 2 of those bosses were final bosses. They were the last things the developers used to try and make you really remember the game. But that just means they didn't even care. They were just like, oh, fuck it, as long as people are buying our games, we don't care what impression they get. But wait. What is that? Oh, fuck yeah!
오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 너는 선호해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선호해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선호해 그런 선호해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 hey. 그래 바로 너 hey. 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 hey. 그래 바로 너 hey. 지금부터 갈 때까지 가볼까 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일
Me and Minecraft have kind of gone our separate ways. I played it a lot in grades 7 and 8 when it was still somewhat new, but we kind of fell out of touch during my transition into high school. This summer, however, my younger brother started playing it and I was hooked once again. So as you can imagine, I was pumped for the update, and although some of my friends disagree with me, I loved it. Yeah, the witches were stupid, but the Wither, holy shit. There is something about Minecraft as a game that I can't really put into words. It has a style that reminds you of other games you played and seems to take the best aspects of said games and mixes it with its own unique formula. How is this relevant to the Wither? Well, I'll try my best to explain. You ever played an MMO where you and your buddies bonded to bring brutal beatings to a barbaric boss from your basement and the boring blasts of your parents' Blues Brothers record were barred by your victorious accomplishment? Well, it's kinda like that, except instead of the typical MMO battles, you're fighting this boss in what I can only describe as Skyrim style. And when you beat him, you get a Skyward Sword block. So, why only number 5? Well, fighting him on your own is surprisingly boring. I don't know, maybe the multiplayer just spoils me. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the hottest shit around when I was a kid. I remember one time me and my friends went to a weekly tournament in this gaming shop, like we did every Saturday. Only this time, I got my ass obliterated by this one guy with a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You see, most adults would go easy on me in this game, but this guy tore my deck a new asshole. Or, I guess, un-asshole, seeing as my deck never had an asshole to begin with. Anyway, I was pissed. So I get new cards, I get a new strategy, and I just plan to kick this guy's ass. So next week, I go back, I make sure I play him, make sure he gets his Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon out, which he did in the first turn, and I beat him in 4 turns. And he even gave me his Ultimate Dragon as a reward. So why should you care? Well, a few months ago, a friend of mine introduced me to a little iPhone game called Dragon's Reign. It's a cool little hybrid between a Yu-Gi-Oh! Style card game and an MMO. So one weekend, an event boss called the Yggdrasil is there, so I fight him, and die horribly. So I get some new cards, do some XP grinding, and then beat him and get him in card form. Pretty nice, huh? Remember Nagal from Kirby's Return to Dreamland? Well, he makes a return in the unique challenge stages of Kirby's Dream Collection. And I know I'm still distorting the traditional boss conventions, but Nagal Race 1 is a great experience. The Nagal races all have the same concept: dodge Nagal's attack and run ahead of him. But if you want me to be specific, here's the first race. You start off jumping, smashing blocks, and then doing both simultaneously. Now it's the same again, except you have to aim at bomb blocks specifically. For the next part, you deal more with enemies than you do with blocks, but it's a similar idea. And then, holy shit, giant-ass boulder, oh my god! Okay, so see, the boulder is far enough ahead that you see it drop ahead of time and dodge it easily. Judging by the nature of the stage so far, you expect another one to come out at a time that will give you less time to react. And what do you know? It does. And what happens after that? Well, you win. So why was this so great, you ask? Well, it's hard to put it into words, but I can sure as hell try. You know that famous intro stage from Mega Man X? Well, this is similar. It teaches you the challenges that you will eventually face in a fun and somewhat easy fashion. And like Mega Man X, this level stands out as one of the most memorable game stages, period. If you want me to like your game, a good strategy would be to make your bosses feel like duels of equals. There is nothing quite like the feeling of facing someone who you know is exactly the same as you physically, and knowing only the smartest man will walk out alive. Some of the best examples for these kinds of fights are Shadow Link from Ocarina of Time, Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, or Meta Knight from Kirby. A good example of what makes these fights so great is the fight against Xemnas in Kingdom Hearts 3D. Technically, there are other things that could be considered duels of equals in this game, but Xemnas is the only one who really feels equal to you. He has a basic attack, a barrage of X commands, and he even has his own reality ship. Not to mention, he says one of the most awesome lines in video games before the fight.
Your flesh bears the sigil, so your name shall be known as that of a recusant.
It's Hades. I mean, seriously, how could it not be? I'm pretty sure everyone who's played Kid Icarus Uprising will agree with me, but for those of you who have not, here's the awesome boss checklist. Great character? Check. Great build-up? Check. A great voice actor? Check. A great fight? Holy fuck, yes! See, I've been stuck on this part of the script now for over a week, and that's because I don't even know where to begin with how to describe this guy, so fuck it. I'm gonna go from beginning to end on this guy, and it's gonna be unscripted. So here I am. I beat Medusa. I win. Credits roll. Oh my god. Oh, you crap. When do I get to fight that thing? So now Hades is sending the entire human race on a wild goose chase for a fake seed that would grant them a wish. So that they would kill one another, and he would get a bunch of souls out of it. Next, he starts a three-way war between the gods, and hell, an entire level takes place in his belly. So you start the fight with the Great Sacred Treasure, your new weapon, and you fly through a short level and get used to how this thing works. And then Hades comes out and it is on like Donkey Kong. So then you engage in the typical dodging Hades' shots and shooting back with your own. Then Hades escapes and you gradually have to take out different segments on his body, including his face guns. Yay. Oh wait, no, oh shit, Hades has got me, Hades has got me, Hades has got me, Hades has got me, abort mission, abort, Hades has got me. Whew, I chopped him in half. Good thing I had that lightsaber. Oh, what? He's still not dead? How would that not finish him off? So then you chase him back to Earth and holy shit, mayday, this looks like the end. So there you are, almost defeated at the mercy of your main antagonist. Until Medusa comes and saves your ass. Pretty ironic. So Hades kicks Medusa's ass, big shock. And now you dodge his shots again while countering. Except this time you're powerless until Palutena charges the Great Sacred Gun, and you just have to dodge and not get killed, which is harder than it sounds. And then, the awesome happens.
It's hard to believe, but you actually got me, Pit. The nerve of you.
You know, when I originally made this list, I didn't want to put any final bosses. But Hades just made me change that. How could I not put him? You know, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever. I'm Erdrick the Choco Bro, and I look forward to 2013.